I'm Ben with the BTC Sessions, and this is your Bullish Bit, brought to you by CoinKite.com, bringing you the best hardware to secure your Bitcoin. The Cold Card Queue, the Tab Signer, the Block Log, and plenty more goodies can be found over at CoinKite.com. Use code BTC Sessions for a nice discount at checkout.
There's been a lot of different proposals, and that's part of the problem. It's sort of a fragmented landscape because there's literally like 5 or 6 different viable opcode changes that would enable covenants. Some of them require you to like pre-sign a bunch of stuff, others not. There's a lot of different sort of like pieces, and some of them work together to enable certain other things and stuff like that. So it's part of it is that fragmentation. There's no one covenants proposal that everyone is behind. It also didn't help that Jeremy was pushing just so hard for OpsI for like a few years. Like he kind of turned off a lot of the people that were, watching and saying, hey, like, okay, this might be reasonable, but he was just so much like, we need to get this in now. What do I need to do? He almost kind of treated it like a fiat hierarchy, like whose permission do I need to get this thing in? And that's not how consensus works, right? Like you don't go get permission from the CEO of Bitcoin and then get this feature in. But that's kind of almost how he approached it. He built demos, he did workshops, he did all kinds of stuff, which I think were good. But like the entire covenants thing is a lot of cool things that you can do. And I get that as an engineer, it's very exciting because, now you can open a Lightning channel with somebody that without them being online or something like that. Like that sounds cool, right? But here's the thing about like making changes within Bitcoin is, at least some of the exciting things that you're able to do, but you don't necessarily know all of the drawbacks. And you're not entirely clear on like how this will come about or whether some of these exciting use cases are actually going to make a difference, right? And this is the thing about like enabling some of this stuff. If it turns out to be a dud, then it's like you put all that work in for nothing, and you've used a lot of the social capital maybe, or the momentum that you might be able to get for some sort of a soft fork, and you've sort of dissipated it on a complete dud. Not to say that would happen, but that's a non-zero possibility, and that's something that you have to account for. So that's sort of like the tension is, like things work pretty good right now, and I think Peter just made the case that Lightning, just as it is, without anything else, it's entirely possible that it can serve the needs of the entire world already. Do we actually need it, or are we just sort of indulging engineers' sort of like desire to go build something that they want to build rather than what the entire Bitcoin community wants? And that's the real tension here, is that there is sort of like this desire to move forward and do cooler things just from an engineering perspective. And, a lot of users that are like, oh, do we really need this? Bitcoin kind of already works pretty well. As much as we talk about covenants, is there any company that going and providing sort of like versions of the covenant functionality that's making money off of it? Like, I don't necessarily see strong market demand for these things other than like engineers wanting to play with it and do these cool things. And engineers aren't necessarily very good at reading the market and saying, okay, like this is what the actual market actually needs or not.